is actually really kind of cool too. But John Favreau is actually really good as well. Hey, what's that over there? Oh, oh, um, hi everybody. Um, sorry you had to see that. Um, welcome to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for Saturday Morning Blast Off. Sorry, Baby Yoda's delicious, by the way. This is a special. Well, it's not really a special. It's the Comic-Con at Home edition, where I'm going to be talking to you guys all about the news that has come out in the last, Wednesday through Friday here at Comic-Con, plus the other news that has come out during the week too, the other news of genre stuff. Excuse me. He's fighting his way down there. That's all. Yeah, if I was ever to have a Comic-Con sponsor, I guess you could say, I would go local, of course. And that would be the good people over at Donut Bar that's here in San Diego, who made this lovely little guy who is now demolished a little bit there. So sorry, it's a lot of icing, so it's all over the place. Anyway, that's not what you came here for. You came here for news and stuff like that. So before I get started here, I don't know if anyone's been watching Comic-Con at Home, if you guys have been watching snippets of it here and there. I just got to say, good God, these people actually have money. They are trying to promote TV shows, movies, stuff like that. Can they not afford a fucking $30 microphone? I'm talking to you, Aisha Tyler, from The Boys. When you were moderating that, you sounded like you were in the well with that girl from The Ring, because no one could actually hear what you were saying. And Chase Crawford, the guy who plays the Deep on The Boys, are you in prison or something? Are you in a prison cell? Dudes, do a little bit of background work, just a small little bit. You guys are promoting a show that, yeah. Um, Damn, that's all I can say. The animators, at least, like the Rick and Morty people and stuff like that, they've got all this shit down because that's what they do at home. They talk. They're nerds, okay? They're nerds. And so they have setups like what I've got here and things like that. And they sound good. Yes, they look like they rolled out of bed, but that's an animator's life. That's the way they kind of look 24/7. But the rest of the people, yeah, I don't know. This whole Comic-Con at home thing is not really going too well for me at this point. Um, there's no fan interaction, which is mainly what Comic-Con is about. Well, rightfully so, because there's nobody there. They are all streaming from home and whatnot. But open up a chat at least or something, or do something live, because this pre-recorded stuff is really kind of boring. And honestly, I would just rather have you know, the snippets of things. I would rather just being 15 minutes and going, okay, here's a trailer, here's some cool shit, have at it. There you go. You think mics are harder to find during quarantine? No, they're not. If you know, we've been dealing with it at work too, and they're not that hard to find. Quite honestly, the beginning of it, sure, back in March and April, uh, microphones were really hard to find because everyone was getting them for Zoom and whatnot. But now, it's just like toilet paper; it's everywhere. I just had to get that off my chest because it was really fucking bothering me. I was up until about 1 o'clock in the morning, going through and culling as much as possible, which you can see from all my posts if you're on my Facebook page. And man, yeah, it was just kind of painful going through some of that stuff. But it also made it easier for me to get all my news that I needed as well. So what's going on news wise is most movies are pulling out for 2020. They're basically like 2020 is done. They are not. They've pulled Disney's and pulled their entire schedule pretty much for 2020. Um, so have other, Warner Brothers. Tenant, I think, is moved to 2021. The Avatars 2 through 85 have moved to, I think 2022 now. and all kinds of stuff like that. And it's no surprise because, I mean, go figure. That's what's going to happen with during the pandemic is that theaters are not opening. Uh, they don't want to release a $180 million movie and only get $30 million back on it from doing VOD. I get it, yeah, but still, it's kind of disappointing when stuff like I'm going to be talking about here in a little bit doesn't has it's been in the can for a while. But speaking of stuff that hasn't been in the can all that long, Bill and Ted Face the Music, which is, of course, Bill and Ted 3, has now settled on a release date of September 1st. And that's going to be on video on demand and theaters if theaters are open. Select theaters, I guess is what they're saying, which is good. I'll buy it. I mean, I was going to buy it anyway, just to kind of complete the trilogy, I guess you could say. And I'm happy about that. I really am. I want to see it at home rather than going into risking it in a theater or anything like that. Philip Ademic says it's not an either or thing. Start with a 1 hour pre-recording, then do a 30-hour fan Q&A. Three, not 30. So no, I don't know about that either, Philip Ademic. So fan Q&As, I like that they were short at Comic-Con, that you had about 30 minutes, roughly 20 to 30 minutes. Excuse me. Baby Yoda's fighting his way back. But that's what I liked about Comic-Con is you have that 20 or 30 minutes in order to ask your questions. You had to scramble to get into the line. You may or may not get to ask your question. That's fine. But you would also hear, it's a different beast, is what I'm saying. This is this was like a Zoom meeting that we've all been on in the past couple of months, and it was a very boring Zoom meeting, most of these panels. Um, I wasn't digging it, quite honestly. I'm glad it's free because if they had charged for something like this to stream, people would have been rioting in the street. Oh wait, they already are, but I mean they would have been rioting for other stuff too. So yeah, other than our freedom, which quite honestly needs to be done. Um yeah. Apple Crow says it's not enough that movie theaters surround you with loud, obnoxious people, but now we have a pandemic. Building a home theater is one of the best decisions I've made. Yeah, exactly. Um, I'm with you there, buddy, on that. And I am glad I have a home theater, surround sound system, big screen TV, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Um, Stanley says I have not been on a Zoom meeting and never touched the stuff. You're lucky, Stanley. That's all my life revolves around at work is Zoom meetings. And when can you schedule a Zoom meeting? And you talk over each other. Oops, I'm sorry. And that's and then you have lag and you have people that sound like they're max headroom at sometimes, and you got video skipping and all kinds of stupid shit. Yeah. So I gave you the Bill and Ted Face the Music news. Yeah, I'm kind of doing this a little bit out of order, by the way. So, Cobra Kai seasons 1 and 2 are coming to Netflix on August 28th. That's right, August 28th, Cobra Kai seasons 1 and 2, which have already been out on YouTube TV. But if you didn't want to pay for it, you could see it for free on YouTube at a certain point. But now you can watch it all again if you have Netflix. And no word on season 3 as of yet. I'm looking forward to season 3 because that's going to be kind of awesome. Hey, Filthy. Yeah. Oh, you using Teams or Skype? Yeah, Teams, Skype, it's the same thing. It's the same thing, Stanley. So we're using Zoom and Teams is what we're using right now. Excuse me. We're making the transition over to Teams, I guess, is what's going on, but not everyone is. So it's all kinds of foobar at this point. The Boys, that's right, The Boys has been renewed for season 3. Now, this is no surprise. I actually mentioned this a while back that The Boys has already been renewed for season 3. Um, And given how it's the most popular show on Amazon, it's not a surprise. The surprising thing is that Amazon is giving away free The Boys shirts, but the site right now is currently closed. I'm guessing it's gonna reopen again once Comic-Con, the streaming Comic-Con comes back. And I'm gonna put that link down below in the description here of this page of this video. So I don't know if anyone's been noticing, but I have been, at least for the Saturday morning blast off, going through the last couple of weeks and actually time stamping everything for those bitches who I mean, for those people that complain about it. So yeah, I've been time stamping that stuff, so it's all there, and I've been including links to stuff as well. So if you haven't seen a certain YouTube, uh, preview or something like that, it's there as well. So yeah, Skype sucks balls. We got rid of Skype network because it was horrible. Yeah, I know. Complaining on the internet. What? I know. No one ever does that. No one's ever fucking demanding on the internet either. Yeah. Discord, the the program filthy, or Discord in general? So this is kind of interesting. G4. Remember G4? The guys who had like Attack of the Show and all kinds of tech stuff and whatnot. Supposedly it's going to return in 2021 in some form or another. Most likely a couple of shows will return. Unfortunately, it's probably going to be on Peacock. And now you're going to say, well, Peacock's free, isn't it? To a point. Some of the newer programming, basically their exclusive programming that's on Peacock, you have to pay for. The old stuff, like, if you want to watch Friends and shit like that, that's free. That is, yeah. So their old programming and whatnot is free. All the new stuff that they're going to be doing exclusively for Peacock is going to be a subscription based thing, which most likely is going to include this G4 stuff. And from what I understand, Attack of the Show is coming back in some form. Because I mean, Chris Gore's got nothing to do. He's been working on his own stuff. I follow him on Twitter, by the way. And Olivia Munn, yeah, she's gone off and done a couple of movies, but yeah, she's not winning any Oscars or Emmys anytime soon. So you can't get Peacock up there in Canada. Consider yourself lucky, filthy. You don't need it. Yeah. You have Discord in abundance now. A lot of people need their idiot extracted. Thanks, Stanley, for a callback to, yes, Doom Patrol. If you haven't seen Doom Patrol, go and watch it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing G4 again, but again, I don't want to pay for it. Yeah. Philip says, I used to love G4 with Leo Laporte and E3 Expo reviews. I used to love the Comic-Con stuff. So one of my favorite memories of Comic-Con is and I was there kind of watching this and then saw it again on TV afterwards, was Attack of the Show used to do a live broadcast, like a couple hours on the floor of Comic-Con. They had their own booth, so they had an above, like a balcony thing up above, and so they'd interview people up in the balcony area, and you could hear the fans screaming down below, and they'd also pan over a little bit so you could see the fans down below. And then, of course, they go down to the floor and interact with the fans with some of the celebrities that they bring in. And John Barrowman was, I'm pretty sure he was loaded at the time, allegedly. I don't know for sure. But there was a guy dressed up as Aquaman, which really all he had on was Speedos. And, the guy was, athletic, toned, and whatnot. And John Barrowman pretty much had his hands all over this guy during the whole segment. The camera kept cutting away, but if you were there at the time, he was all over this guy, and it was one of the funniest things. But also, you're just kind of like, oh, that's wrong too. At the same time, the guy was visibly uncomfortable. You could tell, and John Barrowman just did not really care. So, again, in the Me Too movement, not a great thing to see, but Yeah. Filthy asks, "Can I have your Captain Cold figure, Dennis?" No, you cannot. That Captain Cold figure is like one of my very first figures, like, way back when in the day. So, no, you cannot have him. Uh, from what I hear about it, I won't get Peacock. Okay, so you won't get Peacock up in Canada. Yeah. Stanley says Brave New World on Peacock was okay. Yeah, yeah. Philip Ademic says lots of places reviewed Comic Cons. Very few covered electronic show. Yeah, true. I know, Philip, but I liked G4's coverage better than anybody else's coverage of Comic Con. The other, like Sci-Fi's coverage of Comic Con was really lame, even though it's the same, essentially NBC Universal, but it was just really, 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 really lame. And they were on the floor too, which really sucked. And they have a huge presence over at Comic-Con. I mean, they have buses. They do so what they used to do, even as of last year, um, Sci-Fi would have this bus that would roam around that would pick up people, and it's an open top, double decker bus, and they would do like a karaoke sing along on the top of the bus as they're driving through downtown San Diego there, and they would actually stop at some points and have people on the street sing along with whatever was going on the bus. It was really kind of cool, but it was something that they never you would think that they would actually record it, have a camera in the back of the bus, something like that, recording any of this stuff and putting it out there because there was actually some really cool shit. And they never did any of that, unfortunately. But again, this is some of the stuff that would happen at Comic Con. Now they just block off the entire street downtown down there and in front of the con all the way to I think like Island Avenue up that way. It's a huge section of town that they block off and it's all pedestrian, no cars. So yeah. Of course now this year they didn't because we have the pandemic going on. So was as near cringe as was it as near cringy as PC Gamer game show this year? I don't know. I didn't watch that. So, all right. So, October 16th, the last live action Marvel series that's left standing at Hulu premieres, and it's called Helstrom. Oh boy. Um, so they released the trailer, and you want to talk about boring. I mean, boring. This is the most boring thing I've seen come out. Uh, it has every single exorcist trope you could ever imagine. It's supposed so the siblings, the Hellstrom siblings, are supposed to be, of course, spawn of Satan, if you will. Um, and you would think that would be exciting. You would have some kind of excitement from that. No, it's just really fucking boring the way they're doing it anyway. Filthy says the trailer looked lame. Just watched it a few minutes ago. Yeah, it's really bad. Um, pretty much it's some woman in a straitjacket with a dubbed over, oh my god, voice. I'm a demon voice. Ha 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 ha. I'm a demon, and I know stuff that you don't. Well, what do you know? Well, I know stuff that you don't know, but you want to know from me. Ha 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 ha. Literally, that's what the fucking thing is. I saved you like a minute and a half of your life right there. I am going to put that again down in the description of this video if you have any kind of desire to see it. Philip says I used to love Son of Satan when he's a member of the Defenders. Yeah. This is not going to be Son of Satan. In fact, I don't think this is going to last more than a season. Don't be surprised if it gets the Swamp Thing treatment and gets canceled after the first episode because it's that bad. Yeah. Yeah. Stanley says the trailer is boring. The show must be great. Get me some pea soup. Yeah, Stanley, it'll be right up your alley. Agents of Shield. So yeah, it should be good for you. We got a really good trailer. Speaking of the opposite of Helstrom, we got a really, really good trailer for Lovecraft Country, which is coming out on August 16th to HBO. And we got to see some monsters in this, some Lovecraftian monsters, if you will. And I'm really jazzed for the show. I am going to cover it. Yes, I know it deals with racial tensions in the 1920s, 30s, somewhere around there, in the South. Yes, I know that is a landmine, or if you will, uh, for some people. I just want to watch it. I want to see what it's going to be like, and yes, I'm going to cover it. So we'll see where it goes from there. Yeah. Sorry, I was just laughing at Stanley's comment. Agents is great, you clueless person. Uh-huh. Keep telling that to yourself. Apple Crow says, I want to know why this was greenlit. Uh, but yeah, I really don't know. There was a lot of live action shows that were greenlit for Hulu. And then when Kevin Feige took over Marvel Television, he was like, nope, 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 nope. And he just killed everything that was over at Hulu except for Helstrom. Why he kept it, I have no idea. But yeah, he was killing everything. That Ghost Rider, Ghost Driver, excuse me, because it was going to be Gabriel Luna's Ghost Driver again from Agents of Shield. That was a great bit of programming there. Lovely CGI. Yeah. Um, oh god, that was horrible. That got axed along with a couple other things as well. Yeah, cocaine is a hell of a drug. I don't know if cocaine had anything to do with this one. I think what it was Kevin Feige was kind of like, okay, you guys want to see what this is going to be like? What a Jeff Loeb show still looks like? Here you go. We're going to leave Hellstrom up. We're going to do our other shit over at Disney Plus, but we're going to leave this shit up here just so you can tell the difference between the two. And I'm fairly sure that's what it is. And it's going to get canceled after one season when they realize how bad it truly is. Yeah. But enough said about that. Back to Lovecraft Country. Really good looking stuff. August 16th. Yes, I'll cover it. It looks good. So, speaking of stuff that looks good, but we don't know when the fuck it's going to come out, the New Mutants trailer dropped. So, they dropped a New Mutants trailer because they keep releasing more and more footage of this shit. I think with all the footage that we've seen released, someone out there should be able to piece it all together and release the movie on YouTube. Because I think we've seen the entire movie just in different bits and pieces everywhere. The new trailer looks good, and there's still no release date on it as of yet. We don't know if it's coming out to Disney Plus, if it's going to come out on VOD, if it's going to come out on theaters, what's going to happen. This movie's been in the can now for, I think Maisie Williams has already had an acting career. She's been the CEO of her own company that she sold off already 3 times. And she is now collecting Social Security checks, from what I understand, in the time that this movie's been made. So, yeah. And she was 16 when this started. New Mutants is more like a meme. Yeah, it is. It really is. Stanley Tweedle says, I admit Hell Driver was not that good. Yeah, that was a really shitty, like, what is it, 18 episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I lost track because it was a lot of episodes. Philip says, I still can't bring myself to watch the final season of S.H.I.E.L.D. I loved it up until now. Yeah, it's still the same quality, by the way, Philip, so go for it. I've been watching the last season here, and yeah, it's just, while it has a couple of neat little nods and some guffaws, like, whatever, nothing more than that. Season 6.5 actually is what it is, Stanley. They took season 6 and cut it in half, and then they called the second half season 7. Yeah, it's not season 7. I'm calling it season 6.5 like it's supposed to be called. So, speaking of stuff that didn't live up to its hype, season 2 of His Dark Materials will be coming out on HBO in fall. We got a new trailer for it. The new trailer looks boring, quite honestly. Um, I covered the first season. If you want to see what the first season, what my thoughts on it were, it's in the archives there. You can actually take a look at it and see what's going on through that. Um, it's really, yeah, it's really not that great. And from what I understand from people who actually read the book, it's even more disappointing in that one. Sister Spike, what's going on? Our agents of Shield burn it with fire. Exactly. Yeah. Excuse me. There we go. Telling you, man, Baby Yoda is just fighting back. He's using the Force even from beyond the grave. Ooh. Yeah. And he's just getting all over my fingers too. I know. I know who it is, Silver Spike. I kind of figured I wasn't gonna ask. Um oh, and by the way, in season 2, we're getting some new additions of cast members. So we're gonna have Terrence Stamp, Jada Nuka, and Simone Kirby are all joining His Dark Materials in season 2. Now, Terrence Stamp, I'm definitely interested. I would almost watch it again just because of Terrence Stamp, but at the same time, I really don't want to. It's just, yeah, yeah, yeah. That Baby Yoda looks nasty, Stanley. It's very tasty though. Just keeps trying to fight its way back up. That's the only thing. It's very icing heavy, but that's what happens sometimes. Um, yeah. You know what? Since we're at the midway point, and since I forgot to do it anyway, I'm gonna do a little promo for you guys. If you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video at the very end of this video. And if you like what you see there, then take a look, hit the subscribe button down below. And if you like what, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you get the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. So the best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com where I have the links to all my social media. So Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon, and also the schedule for what's going on here, which I change every week. Yeah. I did eat him, Sister Spike. If you take a look at the very beginning of the video, I bite into him. Looks like heart disease. Actually, it's diabetes is what it is there, Stanley, and a little bit of heart disease mixed in. Yeah. So yeah, a donut bar, by the way, like I was saying at the very beginning here, is a local shop, and they're all over San Diego. They've actually got quite a few locations, and they do Comic Con. They do a Comic Con pop up every year, right around Comic Con, the location itself, and they sell donuts that are Comic Con themed. So they do like, Batman. They also do a Homer donut, which is literally this glazed donut that has cake. It's cake batter essentially on the top. It looks like the Homer donut, and they used to do a big one that was literally about that big. It came in a cake box, and they sold it for $5, and you could literally feed like 10 people with it. That's how big it was. But I think they only do that for the pop-up locations. And since they weren't doing a pop-up location this year, they're still doing Comic-Con themes at this point. Yes, Sister Spike, I am nearing 1,000 subs. It's been hovering around 900 for the longest time here, and it just needs to push a little bit and just get over there. And yeah, yeah. Or you could just be the first to dislike. Thanks, Philip. Don't tell them that the dislike button works. Damn it. All right, so back to the news. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost are going to have a show on Amazon Prime this fall with an 8-episode series called Truth Seekers. Now, Truth Seekers is based on, we've all seen it before, the ghost investigations or UFO hunters, Bigfoot hunters, whatever you want. And where you get these guys that are with a camera that are in the dark, that are first person perspective, and everything's all shaking around and whatnot. um that's what this is. So Truth Seekers doesn't look very funny. Yeah, it does not. I mean, I'll give it a go, just probably because there's not going to be that much more else that's on. But and most likely, since it's going to be on Amazon Prime, they're probably going to drop it all at once anyway. So it'll be good for, is it another, is it worth my time, is what will happen there. Could have done dark reviews and gotten over 1,000. Thanks, Stanley. But yeah, I couldn't get through it. Like I said, you don't want me doing reviews on stuff I don't like or that I have to suffer through, because I know myself. I get snarky, and then yeah, I wouldn't get over 1,000 subscribers at that. Without Edgar Wright, there always seemed on dodgy grounds. Yeah. And also Edgar Wright without them, also same thing. That they work well together, but separate, they all kind of suck. I don't know. It's I hate to say it. Yeah. I know what you meant by Edgar Wright there. It still sounds phonetically the same. It's just spelled differently without the W or the R. All right. Utopia. So Utopia was done on the BBC, of course, a couple of years ago, and it's based on a book. Basically, it's about these group of nerds that are reading a comic book, and they're realizing that the comic is probably foretelling what's going to happen in the future, like humanity collapsing, society collapsing, all this kind of stuff. And they start trying to find out a way to either stop it or become part of whatever this underground thing in Utopia is. Well, it's being rebooted on Amazon. Um, yes, it is going to have an American flair to it. They were also adding a character. John Cusack's character was not in the original. Of course, they are changing it up a little bit, is what they're doing. So anyway, the first trailer has come out, and it looks pretty good. It looks decent. I'm actually going to try and find the original British version. I know it's excuse me, not too long, so I'm going to take a look at that too and see how that goes. But yeah, the trailer for this one on Amazon looks pretty decent, so I'll take a look at that one as well. Apple Crow says, I don't have much faith in Simon Pegg's writing. Yeah, dude, after that last Star Trek movie, I watched that finally because I think it was free. And woof, wow, that was just meandering. It's like, okay, yeah, all right, sure. Yeah. Sister Spike says, from what I remember, the original wasn't that good. Utopia, really? Ugh, all right. We'll see what happens. I know John Cusack was saying that his character is kind of like an Elon Musk type of character, only a scientist. Um, yeah. All right. Sure. We'll see what happens. John Cusack's project selections haven't been all that great lately. Yeah. Yeah. Philip Ademic says, I'd watch Truth Seekers if Jared Padalecki, Jensen Ackles were secretly pranking them in the back. That would be funny. Philip, yeah, that would be absolutely fucking hilarious. Um, yeah, what was it? Ghost Catchers, or I can't remember what the name of the characters were in Supernatural. They were making fun of with that too. There's been a couple different shows that have made fun of that kind of genre, and for good reason. Yeah. You mean the 2-hour long build up to a substandard music video? What was that about? I don't. Oh, so Star Trek Prodigy will come to Nickelodeon next year, and it's going to be an animated series. And the series is supposed to be about and I kid you not, a group of lawless kids who find a derelict Federation ship and set off into space. And along the way, they learn things like duty, not duty, but duty. I guess responsibility, all that kind of bullshit. And I'm like, yeah, right. A bunch of kids who are lawless, and I'm quoting from the article, are lawless. Um, find a derelict Federation ship that have fucking photon torpedoes, lasers, and whatnot, and they're gonna go about and do good across the universe. Bullshit. Yeah. Uh, my God, they are really getting desperate now, aren't they? Yes, they are, Sister Spike. They are. They're getting very desperate. They are trying to spread Star Trek as much as possible. That Lower Decks animated thing that's supposed to be coming out to Hulu, I think it is, looks fucking god awful. Or CBS All Access. Excuse me, it's coming out to CBS All Access. Oh my god, that thing, it's so unfunny and so boring. And it must have been the one Rick and Morty writer that got kicked out of the Rick and Morty writing room because they were just unfunny. So if it's like Star Trek Lower Brow series, hard pass is what Stanley says. Yeah, I agree with you. Philip says, I survived 19 seasons Supernatural, and all I got was a lousy t-shirt. Who hasn't? Yeah. Sorry, I'm checking on Pepper over there. She's laying on the bed, and you know, if you can't write funny, just have your character shout. That's right. Hopefully, I didn't blow out anybody's eardrum. I try to keep that, not too loud on that. So, this one I thought was kind of funny. It just made me laugh a little bit. So AT&T has lost roughly 1 million customers. So this is through AT&T Now, DirecTV Now, all this kind of stuff, due to their price hikes. And their CEOs plan to go after quote unquote premium price customers during a pandemic. That's right, because that's the best thing you want to do. So they have no deals or anything like that. They are not cutting anybody any slack. They are just going, I think they said it's $130 a month for their premium cable package. And I'm like, who the fuck's gonna pay that? That's bullshit prices. But anyway, they're most likely going to also start losing HBO subscribers at the end of this month because the app is no longer going to work on Roku or Amazon devices, which is a good portion of their subscribers. So HBO has roughly about 30 million subscribers, give or take. HBO Max has only gotten about 1 million subscribers to it, just on HBO Max only. So you figure at the end of this month, Roku and Amazon users are no longer going to be able to use HBO Now, which is what people are streaming it on, and they're going to have to either use their computers, phones, or PS4s or Xbox is what they're going to have to use. And given that the shit has never been streaming in 4K anyway, you're not going to lose any video, resolution off of it. But at the same time, it's kind of a hassle for some people. I know for me, I don't want to fire up my PS4 every time I want to watch something on HBO. It's right there on my Amazon Fire Cube. I can put it on and watch. I don't want to have to go switch over to other devices at this point. So for me, well, probably after Lovecraft Country goes, I'm probably going to get rid of HBO Max or HBO. Yeah, well, it's going to be HBO Max at that point. Because quite frankly, I'm not finding the value in it. to tell you the truth. There's nothing in there. HBO Max, I'm having a hard time navigating as well. There's It's not as easy of a layout as HBO Now was, and most likely you're going to start seeing people drop off on this one. And on top of that, since they own it as well, DC Universe has no longer they're no longer selling yearly subscriptions. They're only going month to month at this point. So that probably means that DC Universe is going to die. Is it going to get absorbed into HBO Max? Who knows? Is it going to be a standalone service where you just have the comics and no video material? Who knows? They haven't really said anything about this yet. If they're going after their premium price customers, they're most likely just going to end it. That's what they're going to do. Stanley says, "I have all the important streaming apps in my TV. No need for consoles or sticks." Yeah, I don't use my TV for streaming. I just don't. I don't know why. Just haven't bothered. Also, just because I like the convenience of having a standalone system, and I use like I said, a surround sound system, so it actually controls my surround sound system too, and all that stuff. Philip says many people pay over $200 per month when they add up all their phone, TV, internet, and streaming services. Blah. You said servers, and my brain was not working there. Why haven't I used my TV? To stream stuff. I don't probably because I'd have to do a back loop in order for the sound to go through my surround sound system. Otherwise, it's just through the TV. And that's just a pain in the ass. I really didn't want to do that. Or I'd have to set it up with a optical cable. That's what I'd have to do. Which I could, but again, I really don't want to. Then I have to go back to two remotes again, and it's just nah. Anyway, that's my own problems. So, The Walking Dead World Beyond. Yes, it's another Walking Dead TV series on AMC premieres on October 4th. And then right after that, on October 11th, Fear the Walking Dead Season 6 premieres. For those of you who are into The Walking Dead and shambling zombies and whatnot. I am not. I've given up on that show. And I know season 10, like the finale for season 10 premieres sometime in October as well. So they're finally going to actually air that last episode. Yeah, exactly. Stanley is right. No one really cares about The Walking Dead, but I thought I'd shove it out there since it is part of the Comic-Con stuff. And yes, The World Beyond takes place 10 years after the zombie apocalypse has already gone into effect. And it's a group of kids that have grown up in the zombie apocalypse, but they've grown up within a walled city, and they're going out searching for some kids' fathers, I think is what's going on. Yeah. Anyway, on to happier news. Brad Dourif is returning to voice Chucky for the TV series. That's right. We're going to get Chucky's sarcastic little fucking voice back. And I may have to watch this now because Brad Dourif is the best thing about Chucky in the Chucky movies, just because he is the voice acting. The voice acting is really, really good. And I'm looking forward to that part at least. Yes, it's on USA Network and Sci-Fi. Siffy. Grandma Wormtongue? I don't know what that is. I do know what that is, but I'm on the older side, so yes, I don't follow your Harry Potter head stuff. Philip A. Demick says Walking Dead peeps have a new show with the Walking Dead cast, Invincible. I think so. No, so what's going on is Invincible, which is a comic by Kirkland, who also wrote The Walking Dead, is going to be on Amazon Prime. And that is an animated series. It's going to be voiced by 6 Walking Dead alumni, since it is an animated series, of course. And that's what's going on there. Yeah. What, epic fail because of the Harry Pothead thing? Is that what it is? Yeah. You millennials read way too much into the Harry Pothead, man. You should be smoking more of it than the never mind. So the final thing I've got here is Ryan Reynolds' new time travel movie. It's gonna be moving from Paramount over to Netflix. And so basically what the time travel movie is he has to go back in time and grab his 13-year-old self in order to fix something. I don't know exactly what it is, and they both meet their father, of course, who is dead, and he is the same age as Ryan Reynolds' character is at the moment. It's anyway, it's probably gonna be a feel-good time travel movie, whatever it is, but it's moving over to Netflix. That's what's going on. Oh, Lord of the Rings. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan. I know, I've told you guys this before. So, yeah, that kinda went over my head on that one. Yeah. Oh, well. Yes, I know. Give him my geek card, whatever. Yeah. It's a special Yoda it's a donut, man. It's a donut, and it might be special, you never know. No, it's San Diego, man. They don't have that. Um, I know that you have shitty taste. Thanks, Stanley. Says the guy who watches Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, I'm gonna that right there is your bar, Stanley, is when you say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is your jam. That just kind of negates everything from then on out. It's all, you know. All right. So that's all I've got. We have more, of course, of Comic-Con at Home happening today. The Bill and Ted Face the Music panel is on this afternoon. Again, I don't know if it's just pre-recorded. I'm hoping it's not. Really, what they should be doing with these is they should be doing live broadcasts and allowing people like I have here in the chat going on so they can answer questions. Um, just all you need is a couple of moderators. It's not that hard to do. I mean, speaking of which, I don't have any moderators today, and it hasn't been that hard. But then again, I don't have hundreds of thousands of people coming in here. Um, they should be able to handle that. But yeah, and I mean, they could funnel a couple of questions the way of the people that are on the panel. Yeah, I know they don't think logically at all, and that's kind of disappointing. Really, it's some missed opportunities. That really is. But there you go. You doing a Comic-Con wrap up tomorrow? Yes, I am, Stanley. Thank you. I was just I mean, Philip. Sorry, I'm used to seeing it's you and Philip that are right there side by side, and I looked right up a little bit, and there's Stanley right above you. So yes, tomorrow, what's going on? Tomorrow, I am going to do a Comic-Con wrap up. It's probably going to be in the evening. I haven't decided as of yet. I've got to take a look at the schedule and see what wraps up. And yes, I will be doing a Comic-Con wrap up tomorrow. Monday, of course, is going to be Stargirl. Tuesday is going to be Is It Worth My Time? And I'm leaning right now towards Big Man Japan, which is a Japanese cult movie, if you will. Uh, yeah, so I'm probably going to do that. Is It Worth My Time? Um, let's see. Wednesday I'm off. Thursday is Doom Patrol. We only have 2 more episodes of Doom Patrol left. I'm disappointed, but we only have 2 more episodes. Friday, I'm off, and then, of course, we wrap back around again to Saturday morning blast off. So, yeah, some good stuff there. Hopefully, going back to that the boys t-shirt thing that was in the link that I'm going to provide down in the comments or down in the description section here. They were what they're doing with those shirts where you can actually pick a design, and they had a couple different designs to choose from. You put it on a shirt and they send it to you for free. So I thought that was kind of cool. I guess that's what they were going to be doing it if Con was taking off this year. That's what they were going to do. Was they were going to do Warner Brothers has done this in the past where they have a an iron-on print and you pick whatever one you want and they put it on a shirt and they give you the shirt. And it takes like a couple of seconds, like here you go, done. Here you go, done. They're not the only ones that have done it. Other people have done it in past Comic Cons, and it's actually really cool. You can't do the silk screen ones because the silk screen just takes way too long, and then it gets wet and smears and whatnot. So the iron-on is the best thing. But who knows? Maybe they're going to be doing silk screening because they can take their time with them now. That'd be kind of cool. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And I'll tell you guys about what I've bought and shit like that. I only bought one thing this year. I'll tell you about that tomorrow. It wasn't anything exciting other than my baby Yoda donut. Yeah. Damn. I swear to God, there's icing everywhere. Anyway. Yes, I am going to link to it, Philip, in the description down below. Once I'm done here, it takes a little while for the video to process through YouTube. So come back in about an hour or so, and and also I have to physically put in all the links myself because that's the type of person I have to be in order to do that. But yeah, it'll be there. So speaking of which, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube picks the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match as best possible. One of the videos of my vast video library and pops up there just for you. Up here is going to be Doom Patrol, is what's going to come up there. And if you want to know when I'm be on live again next, it's hit the bell down below right down here. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com and take a look at the schedule up there. I change it out every Monday. And there's also the links to all my social media. So Patreon, which has no tiers set up as of yet, Instagram, and Twitter. And also the link to my Facebook page and a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff on and talk amongst yourselves. Yeah. Thanks to your mods. And you're forgetting about Pen Farm Girl, the best mod, who isn't here though. She's off probably doing something, which is fine. I cut her more slack than I did the other two. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go for the day. Thanks, everybody. Take a look at the panels if you want to. I suggest honestly just kind of scrolling through them. It's easier to do it that way. They load the entire thing anyway on YouTube, and you can actually just scrub through the entire video and find tidbits and whatnot. That's what I do. So thanks, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. And until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may get stuck in a, I don't know, time traveling loophole of stay at home Comic Cons where you're watching it on YouTube. And I don't know. I lost that train of thought. It wasn't going anywhere. That train derailed in the station. Thanks, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day. Stay safe, be well, and take care. Thanks, everybody.